Hello, hello, hello. Sorry I'm late. Give me 1 second. How's everybody doing? Alafia? We'll wait a minute and let everybody join. Give me 1 second. Be right back. Hello. Time is it? All right, let's get started. Thank you guys for joining. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's good. Let me just get comfortable here. Usually I don't have anything prepared. Today I did prepare a little bit. So we wanted to talk about, I think last week we said we wanted to talk about Obara Meji. So we're going to talk about an Odu today. And I know I said early on that I wasn't going to get deep into discussions of Odu, just because I don't know, where everyone's at. I've been trying to kind of lay a foundation for everyone with the tradition and just bringing in other people to share their thoughts. So today, I think it's appropriate because, I guess you could say this about all the Odus, but in particular, Obara Meji is an Odu that we can all apply to our lives. And if you're living with Obara Meji, if you're initiated and that's an Odu on your head or one of your Orishas or what have you, it's particularly important to understand that Odu. If you're not initiated, I think there's lessons to be learned from that Odu as well. So we'll talk about Obara Meji a little bit for everybody. Where do I start? So, it's a very powerful Odu, especially for all the Orishas. It's a great teacher for the Orishas. It teaches us about our power as Orishas, the power of words, the power of our words, but also the power of our work and what we can create and leave behind as a legacy of Orishas. I'm just trying to think where to start because there's so much. So the power of the word is important because one of the refranes from the Odu is that with your tongue you can save or destroy humanity, meaning that you have power in your words, and with your words you can affect someone, you can influence them, you can affect decisions that they make, and that can be positive or negative. And same goes for yourself. The power of your words can affect you negatively as well. So let's say, for example, you are really skilled at writing. You're a good writer, and you're writing stories that may propel you in your career and moving forward, or doing a vlog or whatever, or writing a blog, can propel you forward in your work, but at the same time can be your downfall, right? So that's another area that the Odu really teaches us, that the importance of being quiet, of keeping things to yourself. One of the refrains in the Odu talks about that you can keep. Let me see if did I write it down. I don't think I wrote it down, but basically, you become the owner of what you keep to yourself. You become the owner of that. That's your wealth, and you can become a slave to the things you say. That one's deep. So think about that one. You know, you become a slave to the things you say. You become the owner of the things you keep. So that's really an important part of this Odu, because there's a lot of power in the tongue. There's this story. I'll share a couple of stories with you on this Odu. That basically says the same thing. It's a very simple story. It's the story of Obatala inviting Orula to his house the story goes different for different people. This story could be, some people say it goes to Olofi, some people say Obara goes to Olofi. But anyway, in this story, Orula goes to Obatala's house to make dinner. And before he goes to his house, he has to go grocery shopping, goes to the market, gets all the things he needs to make this elaborate dinner for Obatala and all his children. And so he buys all the things he needs to make the dinner, but he still needs to get something for Obatala. And so he sees this beef tongue. So he gets the beef tongue, he seasons it up, he hooks it up nice, brings it to Obatala, serves everybody dinner. Obatala's like, "This is what you serve me? Did you serve me beef tongue?" He's like, "Yes." And he explains to him why this is, and Obatala eats it. It's like, great. It's like, this is the greatest meal you'll ever have, because the power of the tongue can speak anything into existence. So then Obatala says, okay, great. If this is the greatest meal ever, I want to know what the worst meal ever is. Come back and make me the worst meal ever. I want to know what that is. So again, Orula goes to the market, gets all the ingredients. He buys another beef tongue, prepares it the same exact way, and serves it to Obatala. And Obatala is like, "Yo, why you pulling the okie doke on me? This is the same thing as before." And he says, "No, yes, it's the best meal you've ever had, but this is also the worst meal, because the tongue can be your downfall. Things that you say can be the downfall of your kingdom." So that's one of the stories. That was the short version. One of the stories of Obara. And these are some of the, I'm trying to convey some of the key messages about this Odu, because it is very important in this Odu to learn. That's the other thing about this Odu. This is the Odu of knowledge. Like, your power and your ability to move forward, especially if you're in Orisha and you have this Odu, is your responsibility to learn as much as possible. There's a refrain that says, "He who knows does not die like he who doesn't know." That means that your responsibility is to learn as much as you can about the world. And it teaches us in Obara Meji that knowledge is the key to your survival. You need to learn about the world, yes, but more importantly, you need to learn about yourself. Why? Because you're dependent on divination and ebo, right? So you're learning about the world, you're getting divination and given direction as to what to do, and you have to do the prescribed ebos. That's like a critical piece to all of this, is doing the ebos. If all the stories, I'll tell you another story in a minute, but all the stories have ebos in them, people going to Orula and doing ebos. But to understand you're doing these ebos so that you can stay on your path to your destiny. And to do the divination and the ebo are key, but your desire to learn is most important because you want to learn about your weaknesses. What are my weaknesses? What do I need to work on to improve so that I can continue on my path? And what are my strengths? Those are the things that you need to learn in Obara Meji. Those are the things you need to learn. Not just about the religion. Learn about yourself. What am I bad at? What are my weak points? People who live in Obara Meji tend to get away with things. They also tend to be stubborn. And people that live in Obara Meji, they should ask elders for advice, because the elders are the ones that will give you the good advice, or your partner or elders. There's another story about trust. One of the refrains, the king does not lie, because this Odu talks about the truth and lies, and how weak. How do I say it? How weak lies are in terms of they're short-lived and they're transient, and sometimes the truth looks slow and weak, but the truth always wins. And that's another aspect of this Odu that is important. I just lost my train of thought. I was going to tell you guys about a story, right? Let me see if I just have some notes here to refresh my memory of some of these stories. That talks to this notion of the power of the lie being transient and short-lived. There was a king who went to Orula to do divination and said, hey, just want to make sure I'm on the right path, doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. And Orula says to him, there's someone in your court that is going to betray you. There's people that are not looking out for you, and they're looking out for themselves, and they're going to betray you. And he laughs because all the people in his court are his family. He's like, nobody in my family is going to betray me. That's baloney. So the king goes back to his kingdom. He has to make a trip. So he leaves for a short period of time. And he leaves. And while he leaves, one of the members of his court, his brother-in-law, assumes the position of king and takes over the kingdom. So the king comes back and finds out that he's no longer the king. So he runs to Orula. He's like, yo, you got to help me, bro. And so Orula gives him an ebo to do. And of course he does the ebo. And boom, he gets his kingdom back. And, the lesson there is that you should not trust blindly everyone. And there's only, you have to be very careful who you trust and who you talk to and what you say and what you do. That goes for everything in life. But in this Odu, it's super important because your downfall can be a really bad downfall with all of these things that I'm talking about. What else can I tell you about this Odu? I told you that it's the key to your successes is controlling your tongue, right? I told you guys that. That's one of the notes I had here. The words are powerful. They can have influence on others, manifest things that you want into existence. If you're living in this Odu, you can manifest things that you want. And you can also influence people in to do things, which may be good or bad for you. You have to be careful, which is why being quiet is the best in this Odu, right? What did I say before? I said you keep your wealth, something like that, right? And you speak yourself into slavery. So I think that was it for that. What else did I have here for this Odu? I don't want to get into all the technicalities of the Odu, like all the Orishas that speak in it and what the Ebos are. I think the only thing that you need, not that you need to know, but the most important thing about this Odu is that, for me, is that the squash is wealth. And you give squash to Chango and to Ochun in this Odu. It's very important. You don't consume the squash, of course, but there's another story where Olofi invites all the Babalaos to see him, and he has this elaborate party, and everybody has a good time. And at the end of the party, Olofi gives each one of them a squash. This pumpkin, they each get a squash, and they leave. And they don't know that in the squash, he put all kinds of prosperity into each squash as a present. And so they come back down to earth, and they're going by, first of all, everybody came except for, I forgot to mention, everybody came to the party except for Obara Meji. He didn't come to the party. He went to do an ebo instead of going to the party. So when the party was over, all the Babalaos came back, and they were walking past Obara Meji's house, and Obara Meji said, "Hey, I made a feast for you guys. You guys should come." And they were tired from the trip coming back from seeing Olofi. Tired and hungry. So they're like, okay. So they all came into his house. He served them all kinds of food. They had a great time. And as they were leaving, they left, I got visuals, yo. They left the squash as gifts. No, not really as gifts. They left them because they were so tired they didn't want to carry them. So they all left their squashes for to Obara Meji. So Obara Meji wound up with all the prosperity because he did ebo. He wound up with all the prosperity that Olofi had given. The next week, Olofi called everybody back up and said, "Hey, where's the squashes I gave you guys?" And they're like, "We gave them to Obara Meji," and that was the end of that for them. So it's a lesson, you know. It's a lot of lessons in that story. One of the key ones is that ebo is super important. When you get readings, and I've talked about this before, when you do readings and you're prescribed an ebo, you have to do the ebo, or else you just wasted your time. What else? Yeah, I mentioned Shango. He talks in this Odu. He will fight for you. All you got to do is pray. Pray to Shango and praise him often. What else? This Odu is also like this Odu is a Odu of constant movement. So if you're living with this Odu, it's good for you to like go on walks, go on trips, like be moving. And if you're going on walks, that's probably a good time for you to like think about ideas, think about solutions to problems you may have. Just always be moving. Yeah, all right, that's it. I think that's all I had for you guys. There's other stuff that more specific to Orishas, but I think in general, be careful with your tongue and what you speak. That's probably the main message for me anyway, is that, you know, the tongue can save or destroy humanity. That's the deep one right there. You know, because we have the Orishas have Ache, Eleri, but the Ache manifests through your words, and some of us have Ache Lenu, which just makes it like that much more important to be careful with what you say. So that's all I had. I want to share that with you guys. Whoa, sorry. I'm trying to get out of this screen. There we go. All right. I'm going to pause now and see if you guys have questions or... I ordered Iya Maria's book as well. Yeah, her book has Odus in it and stories, and it's not just the plants, right? Talks about a lot of things in that book. So it's a beautiful book. Yeah, I'm glad you got that. What else? It's been a busy week. It's been a crazy week. Every day we hear stories on. I'm trying to avoid so much news because man, it's just crazy. So always trying to stay centered. I didn't know she wrote a 3rd edition. Listen, I didn't know she wrote a 3rd edition. And that's my Ubona. I was like, oh, 3rd edition. So we had to cop that super quick, for real. So yeah. Hi Donna. Hi everybody. Lukumi people. What's up? I just gave you guys a lot of information about and a very important Odu. So I would say, go back and look up Obara Meji and see what you get out of it. It's definitely an important Odu with regards to what you say and what you don't say, more importantly. And I guess I can talk a little bit more about it because there's some other things that apply to everybody in general. In this Odu, it's important to be humble. And it's important to respect your old friendships. Meaning, if you have an old friend that you've known for years and then you have this new friend that comes along, do not dismiss your old friend for the new friend. I need to plug in my phone. I just realized it's not plugged in. It's about to die. Give me 1 second. Yeah, don't dismiss your old friends for a new friend, because what'll happen is you'll learn that the new friend is worth like 1/5 of what your old friend was worth. So that's something to think about. Always be humble in this Odu. Don't be quick to talk, especially if you're like hot-headed. In this Odu, people that live in this Odu sometimes like to argue. They enjoy the discourse and arguing, and they enjoy explaining something to someone, like their point of view. And because of this Odu, that can make you enemies. And those enemies might, want to do harm to you too. So just be careful with what you say. Be thoughtful, be kind. This applies to everybody, right? It's not just people living with this Odu. It's not just to Orishas. That's why I wanted to talk about this Odu, because it is, I think, a universal Odu, if you will, for everybody, and there's things there for everybody. So that's why I wanted to share that. What did you say? What you say? What you speak enslaves you? Yeah. Well, no, I didn't say that. I said what you keep. Meaning, when you keep your mouth shut, what you keep to yourself is yours. You own it. It's your richness. It's your wealth. You're keeping it to yourself. And when you speak, you have the possibility of becoming a slave to what you say. So it's better to be quiet. Yeah. Yeah, what you own what you keep to yourself, and what you put out, what you speak, can enslave you. So be careful. That's the bottom line with that Odu. This Odu also talks about Egun and spirits. Yeah, there's a lot to do with Egun and in this Odu. Who speaks in this Odu? Obatala, Chango, Ochun, Ochosi, Elegua, Dada. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for the Odu. So, what else? What else? I wasn't planning on getting into Odus with you guys, but like I said, this one I think applies universally. And someone brought it up last week and asked some questions about it. So anyway, any other questions? We're gonna make this another shorty. I don't have any guests. I do have guests this next week. I don't have any guests this week, unless someone wants to chime in and share, do a little check-in, tell us what's going on. Happy to do that. Otherwise, we'll call this one short for today. I appreciate you guys joining. I know a lot of folks watch it afterwards, so I think the last one I didn't put on YouTube. I'll put last week's on YouTube, and I'll put this on YouTube also, so it'll be there. But I think now Instagram puts them on your page too. So, but it'll be on YouTube. You guys can go back and revisit this. There's a lot of information about Odu in books and online. Of course, your first resource should be your godparent. Just run things by them after you find new information and get their input. That's my number one suggestion. What else? I think that's it. Any questions? I'm gonna wait one more minute, let you guys catch up, and give you guys a chance to ask a question. Otherwise, I'm gonna call it a day. Yeah, Donna, focus on driving. We don't want any accidents, for real. So I guess no more questions. Yes, no, maybe so. Hello. What else can I tell you guys? I guess I want to know how everybody's doing. How you guys doing? Because it's been a little bit crazy. I think more than it being crazy, I think nothing's different than what it's been. I think it's just the media has been like bombarding us with information, and we have to protect ourselves and be strong, spiritual. As my friend says, be strong, be spiritual warriors. That's the word. And in this Odu, Obara Meji, Shango defeats. Who does he defeat? He defeats the army of the Arara people with his army. And Shango goes into battle in this Odu. So, it's not, I have that connection. It's not just about humility, but you also have to be strong and present and be a warrior when you need to be. So, yeah, this Odu is serious. You definitely want to remain a humble person, centered, like Lukumi people said, in balance, for sure. I think it's, even if you're not initiated in the tradition, I think it's useful to read about Odus. There's lessons in there for everybody, which is why I wanted to share this with you guys. I'm glad taking it one day at a time. Yeah, I think we're all doing that. We have 2 kittens that we are adopting, and they're coming tomorrow. So we got to finish getting the house kitten ready. So we're super excited. I'll post pictures later next week, but we're excited to welcome 2 new members of the family, which we've yet to name, but we're super excited. That helps us keep us sane. You guys know I'm stay making ice cream. That helps. The anxiety can be tough for sure, and we all want this to be over. I think it's not going to be over for a while. We just need to take care of ourselves, find time to center ourselves, and not let the craziness get to us. try to, minimize how much news we consume, because it's way too much. I know I watch too much news, but we're gonna be good. We're all gonna make it through. This beautiful light on the other side of this, and we will dance again. We'll continue to laugh and smile, and that's another lesson in this Odu. See, all this stuff just keeps coming into my head. In this Odu, if you live with this Odu, and again, this is good for everybody. You have celebrations and feed people, and always smile. There is power. There's ashe in your smile. Like, always smile whenever you can. Smile. That's big, especially in this Odu. Like, the thing about Odu is, if you think Odu is this manifestation of energy, it's energy in person. And if that energy is with you, like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. Like, if you have static electricity in your hands and you touch the doorknob, you might get a little zap. But let's say you're living in an Odu, and that Odu is a puddle of water. You're just like amplifying whatever happens to you based on that Odu. So that's why it's important. Like, all the things I said, I think are good and important for everyone. But if you have Obara Meji, this is like life and death stuff. Like, you need to pay attention to everything I said, because it impacts your life. It can make your life so much better if you follow what you're supposed to do for this Odu. Yeah. A puddle of water. Yeah, I don't know what happens if you zap yourself with static electricity in a puddle of water. I don't know if that's a good analogy. Whatever. What else? Some of the refrains, I think I mentioned some of them. Soldier does not sleep in time of war. What else? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there. That's a lot to consume and digest. All right, guys. I didn't see any questions, so running keeps you centered. That's good. Running is good. I need to start doing that. I'm trying to work myself back to a place where I can run. Running's good. Gets your blood circulating. Gets you moving. Yeah, it's all good. Gets your heart, your lungs. You gotta take care of the temple. All right, guys. Can we have another session with the Iya specifically about herbs? Yes, absolutely. I need to coordinate. I've been wanting to do that and bring Ogunbemi back. 5 o'clock doesn't work for her because I think she gets out of work around 5. So it would have to be like around 7. So if you guys, if you see me set up a Ocha talk for 7 o'clock, it's probably because we're going to have Ogunbemi back on. And, yeah. And we can get her insights, too, on Obara Meji and other stuff, since she's an Oba. Knows a lot more than I do. But, yeah, we can definitely have her back. I want to have her back, for sure. And next week we have a couple of guests that are joining us. I'm just scrolling through here, make sure I didn't miss anybody's comment or question. Real good distancing and enjoying this summit. Okay. Okay. The kittens are male and female. There's a boy and a girl. They're brother and sister. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you bought her book. It's a great book. It's a great resource. It's not just the herbs, but the information in there is really good. I guess the other thing I want to mention to you guys is I have a little party called the Bembe Party that I've been doing for 14 years with friends. And we're going to have our anniversary on Thursday, July 2nd. It'll be a virtual party. So Thursday, July 2nd, Friday, July 3rd, and then it ends on Saturday morning, July 4th, at like 5 a.m. So it's over 36 hours of music. Yeah, something like that. And all my friends, Bodhisattva, Shunlade, Kai, Alse, Lukumi People's playing. The person who started the party with me, Cecil's playing. Who else? Tony Touch. Just a lot of the people that were residents at the party. Mr. Chamo is playing. My friend from LA. Jeremy Soul, who also was a resident at the party. DJ Asar, who's been on this program. He's a DJ also. He's also a resident for the Bembe party. So it's all the residents from the Bembe party and then a few of my friends. I left a lot of people out because we only had so many hours, but there's so many other DJs that could have participated and we could do it again. But anyway, on my page is a link where you can get tickets. It's free, but you can get tickets by donating whatever you can. So there's no limit. Like you can donate $1 or you can donate whatever you want. And the link is on my page, and that's on Thursday. We start at noon on Thursday, so it should be fun. That's the Bembe 14-year anniversary festival. So yeah, it should be fun. All right, that's it for me, guys. I'm gonna go finish kitten proofing the house. I hope you enjoyed the information about Obara Meji, and we'll have some guests next week. If you have some topics that you would like me to cover, things that you want me to talk about, let me know. Because like I said, I'm busy all week, and at the last minute I try to put something together for you guys. On Friday, I literally just sat down and wrote some things down an hour ago. But if you give me some topics, questions you have, you can DM me. I'll try to cover them on here. I mean, this is for you guys and for me. So thank you, and have a great weekend, and you guys stay blessed. All right, peace.